I'm so excited to be here again with you. Thanks for joining me on Finance Friday. I am really excited for two big reasons. The first thing is I have paid off my Capital One high interest credit card, so that balance is now zero and it is all freed up for a balance transfer so that I can pay off the high interest portion of my Discover card. That will bring me to 0% interest on all my credit card debt. And I cannot tell you what a relief that is, just to know that when I make my payments, it's going to principal and not to interest. The second thing is I have changed my channel name. So if you've been a friend of this channel already, you know my channel name was Morning Meditation. And that made sense for the videos that I was making at that time. I've now changed my name to Money Meditation. Just more accurately conveys what my channel is about so that new viewers can find me, follow me, understand what I'm doing. You know, this channel has always been about my journey towards self-improvement and internal wellness, and it has taken a financial turn on that journey, and I just thought that my name should reflect that. So welcome to Money Meditation, and I cannot wait to share my budget with you. Here we go. Okay, so let's jump right in. I've got my income first. Now, I did have some high income. I get paid every week, and I use $540 for my base income, but I do have variable income, and it can vary pretty widely, and these 2 weeks were kind of peak weeks for me. So this is nice to see, and my spending went a little out of control. So it's a good thing that I had that. I will just say that ahead of time. Then I've got my monthly income. I did talk about this before. I wasn't sure if I wanted to share, what was going on, whatever. I was having a little bit of privacy anxiety, but I decided it's not a big deal. This is pretty normal monthly income that people have. So I've got some child support, and I've got some contribution from my fiance for household expenses. So that brings my total income to $13,510, which exceeded expectations by $235.10. And then my monthly income was just like as expected. Now, we had an extra paycheck month in May, but doing my budget the way that I do, I don't really see it as an extra paycheck because all my weekly expenses are the same every week. So an extra week just means extra expenses. It's not really an extra paycheck in the way that I budget, at least. I've got savings transfers. So first of all, pay yourself first, right? We all know that. So savings transfers, I transfer to my medical savings account each week, transfer to my wedding fund for the month, and I transferred from my medical savings to cover a medical expense that I had in the previous budget. And that's really just for the sake of recording. This doesn't really affect my budget because that savings account is really, kind of its own separate thing. Then I've got the bills that are due: insurance, mortgage, electric, student loan payment number 1, and auto loan. So those got paid. That's those check marks. And then here's what I was talking about. The transactions went crazy. So I've actually got so many food transactions that they go to the very bottom, and I had to wrap them around up to the top. This is not a transaction. This was just brought up from below. Anyway, my food spending went way over. Basically, all my excessive income went into this category. Now, my food spending includes everything that I would buy at the grocery store, and the grocery store includes Walmart. It does cover everything. It covers toiletries, it covers the whole shebang. So we did some stocking up. Then, in the other category, we went to see another movie. So that was fun. I guess I should maybe budget for movies. I don't know. Maybe after I get my debts cleaned up and can really afford some extras in my budget. But we still have to live life and have fun. I have spent really my monthly allocated $50 already in this pay period. And really I started breaking it up into $25 every other week. That really kind of means I went over. We'll see what happens in the next pay period if I, manage to stay under that or not. And then in the gas category, I filled up my tank twice, stopped for snacks once. Oh, that's not even true. I filled up my tank once. I don't know how I got away with that. I must have filled it probably on Friday last cycle. So anyway, I filled my tank once and stopped for snacks. That put me way under, which is nice because I was way over in the food category. So it just makes it, I guess, a little more reasonable. So here's the total breakdown from daily spending. I spent $525.53 on my just regular daily spending out of a budgeted $405. So I am $120.53 over. I took this amount and I was going to do the money diet. Now I said I wasn't going to do my money diet and then I've been doing it anyway. It is a habit for me, and it is a really efficient way to get some debts paid down. The problem is, just like with other diets, you can get into a yo-yo situation where you get those paid down, but now you've cashed out your reserves, so then you end up dipping into your credit cards again, and it's kind of a cycle. However, I do have some room on some of my zero interest accounts where I decided it was in my best interest to get those high interest debts paid, even if it is at the expense of depleting some of my funds. So let me see. Oh, I'm looking for my highlighter. It's in my hand. I've got so many scribbles. It's because I did try to do my money diet like the regular way where I just double it. But once I saw that I could pay off my Capital One and I would be dipping into my zero interest situation, I decided that it was no longer as important to deplete those funds. So I crossed that out and decided that I was just going to get my high interest paid and then call my money diet over for the moment. $225.21 added in the money diet to get that Capital One paid off. That is so exciting. $536.74. In addition to that, I've got my minimum payments on my Discover card. Now this one was coming up due soon, so I've got to make that minimum. And then I had some left over, so I went ahead and made the minimums on the other two Capital One accounts. They actually aren't due until the 28th, but I like to pay them early. You also might notice that you don't see my minimum payments in my regular bills, the way that I pay my regular expenses on my credit card and then pay it off every month. Those minimum balances I never have to worry about because they're always paid in excess before the due date, so I just don't even include them in my budget. I do, though. That is why I like the money diet, because I really can't just pay what I have spent. Then I would never be making any progress. The balance that's already there would just be stagnant and I would only be paying. So I need to pay in excess. I need to do this money diet or, some version thereof. Anyway, that's what I did this month. If we come back here and see how I did for this 2 weeks, income versus expenses, total income minus my savings, minus my bills, minus my debt payment, minus my spending, and that's the surplus. So I used it for the money diet, $225.21. That brings me, even with additional income, I still ate into my account by $15 but I have that $15. That's not a big deal. So I am so excited. I'm down to 0 interest. Oh, here. Right here. Okay. This Capital One. Where's my highlighter? Ha ha ha. Right next to me. Oh, I broke it. Okay, it's not totally broken. Capital One is paid off. Now with this going down, I just want to say, you know, this has gone up, and that's part of how this payoff was done. I paid my expenses through this card, and then when I paid those expenses with my checking account, I paid them to this card. So that is how I essentially transferred that balance. So it's not, you know, my total debt amount didn't go down by this amount. But my interest paid, I'm going to get there so much faster. I can see the horizon. All I have to do is march toward it. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining me. If you thought this video was helpful, feel free to share. If you liked it, click like. And if you want to see the next one, click subscribe. Thanks again. I hope you all have a great day, and I appreciate you so much. Thanks. Bye.